Oh, welcome back, everyone.
Pubamo party people.
Party people. So, just a big shout out for everyone, just before we get into everything about the Leg Up for a Legend.
Indeed.
We've had a few people apply at the moment. So, there's still heaps of room to jump in and have your say. So, if you want to, someone that's done a bit of something awesome or needs a leg up, give us a hoy on the Insta or thepubemo@gmail and
.com. Yeah, so what the deal is, we did it last year. We're going to bring an individual or a family, a couple, whatever, up from wherever they are. We're going to give them a FNQ experience on us. We're going to hit the reef if the weather allows. If not, we're going to explore some rainforest, chase some barra, go chase some waterfalls, all that sort of stuff.
So if you know someone, give us a hoy.
If you know someone that's been down on their luck, maybe a bit crook, or alternatively someone that has just gone the extra mile for their friends, family, community, whatever the case may be, even if it's a young fella that really wants to come up here and catch some fish, and he's been a good boy. Please hit us up. We want to make this the 2.0 version and go a little bit bigger and better than we did last year. So send us through your details, your story. And better still, don't tell the person if you're nominating them either. That'd be even better. Let's keep it a surprise on the DL, if you know what I mean. Yeah, cool.
No, so I actually spent a little bit of time down there this weekend.
You did? Yeah, down at Caravan. You got a newt. Now, I'm not going to hang shit on you, okay, because I know you're a good bloke. But what'd you buy? What'd you get?
Gay nomad now.
You're a gay nomad. Now, we've talked about this, and I expected better from you. I know you got pressure put on from, higher forces, and it's just what you had to do. But
from estrogen forces.
I don't mean to sound like your dad, but you've disappointed me a little bit, pal. I mean, I still love you. You've just let me down.
We'll see when we have to go and do a podcast or do something somewhere, and we're like, I'll take the van, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll take my swag and I'm going to fucking, you'll be sleeping outside, cunt. I'm fucking telling you. You're like, no, fucking there's no fruit in your salad.
Whatever, we'll be spooning. So you bought yourself a van. You did. Little hybrid, eh?
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty good?
Yeah, it is pretty good, actually. It's got more bells and whistles that I need anyway, but the missus and kids, and they love their bells and whistles.
But it gets to a point like with the camping, and we've talked about that on here before. When you go camping, if you're swagging it, tenting, all that, the amount of gear that you end up taking for a 3, 4, 5 day week away with your kids and the tribe and that sort of stuff is absurd, isn't it?
Yeah, and we've got another pop-up sort of caravan sort of set up, and we don't go as much just because of that, the amount of work it is to go.
Yeah.
So we just thought if we get something that's a bit more like you just plug and play and drive out the door.
One-stop shop.
You'll just go more often.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the way I look at it, yeah.
And it's a cool little piece of kit. How long is it?
16 foot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take up a huge amount of room. It hasn't got a huge footprint.
No, it's pretty good. It fits in the shed. Yeah.
The amount of stuff because we were just having a look over it, the amount of stuff they jam into vans now is unreal, isn't it?
It's got an outdoor kitchen. That was the main one. We just wanted a van with an outdoor kitchen, and not many do them now, hey? Like, you go to Jayco, there's not many with outdoor kitchens.
Really?
None. I think they do one called the Cross Track or something like that, but it's like a hybrid pop top. It's still got a pop top on it.
Yeah.
And it's the only one that's got a kitchen on the outside. The rest they don't do. And I was like, fuck you, Jayco. You are missing the mark.
Well, I think they are missing the mark. That's why Jayco's going to court. I think they're getting sued or there's a class action against Jayco at the moment. What's the deal behind it? Do you know?
I think that because they were showing their caravans in places where they shouldn't be. So they're saying it's the Outback Tour and all that, and then people would take these caravans to the exact same spots. They'd fall apart. Then they say, "Oh, sorry, it's under warranty. Not under warranty because you took it to this spot and it's not supposed to go off road." And he goes, "Well, your fucking photo says it.
You advertised it.
Yeah,
yeah, right. Really?
No, the actual photo where they said we went to where you went in the photo, or whatever, and and now it's fucked."
Ah, okay. Because it sounds
that's what I've heard anyway.
It sounds like
allegedly.
Allegedly.
There's a lot of court shit going on.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
It's like the Red Bull thing with wings. Yeah. I didn't get fucking wings.
It's true. It's very true. Same with Coke. After they took the Coke out of it, it just wasn't the same.
No.
Yeah. Right. Okay then. So you've only done one trip in it so far.
Yeah, one. Oh, it was a big drive. We spent like half an hour getting there.
Yeah.
But someone reckons so what was it like? I said, we went to Curramine to check out some rain.
Yeah, I know. Shit weekend
Fucking,
for it.
But it was probably the best time to take that van just to see if it's leaking.
Yeah. And was it?
No.
No leaks? No holes?
There's one little hole in the awning, so it's getting a phone call tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
But other than that, it was perfect.
Yeah, awesome.
Mm.
Because you were going to go with another pop top kind of one, weren't you?
Yeah, it was called the TARDIS. We were going to put like a re on the front of it. Retardis.
Dude.
So that's the SUV model if you want to check them out. I think we got the 16-foot Talisman Island family.
Yeah.
So it's got 2 bunks and then a double bed workbench.
Yeah.
It felt like a workbench too. She was like,
oh, see, I didn't mind it.
bit of swim when I rocked you around in that room.
Yeah. Face down on something really hard. Yes, okay.
No, it's actually, I think, and the missus agreed. We went for dinner last night. We finished dinner because the sun goes down early now. So it's like 6 o'clock, 5:30. We're like, let's go for dinner. Went over there. We're like the first people in the door, Nelly.
Yeah.
And then we ordered our meals. We walked out. I'm like, rightio, let's go back and look at the rain.
Let's go back and sit in our van.
So we went back and then with them by about 7:30.
Living large.
And then we woke up at like 6:30 this morning and we're like, my back's sore. And then we realised like our back gets sore because you lay on the fucker for 12 hours.
Yeah. So the next obvious question is, where does the boat go now? Like, how do you work this? How do you work this?
I'm going to have to get her to tow the van. I'm taking the boat.
So now you're taking 2 cars, a van and a boat. What about the little boat? The little boat could probably go up on the back of the truck, couldn't it?
Yeah, no, still too big for that.
Is it? You'd
Yeah.
have to come up with a hell of a cradle or something, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just imagine the
engineer,
logistics. And just the wankerishness side of things, like rock up and you got everyone's just going to be like, oh, this
Bro, you got a
fucking
caravan. It's a bit
cockhead.
late for that.
But you do. I had a few chats with a few caravan owners down there, and like the midlife crisis really hit hard sometimes.
Did it?
And
Are you all right? Are
I'm
you
not-
okay?
Not me.
Oh, all right. Just checking. Just checking.
I got my boat. I can get rid of everything. As long as I got my boat, I'm fucking happy. So we you talk to other couple of fellas. Oh yeah, but yeah, that's a good brand, but yeah, it hasn't got. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's fucking,
Yeah, sweet as.
yeah.
I'm not going around the country in it. Well, not yet anyway.
No, I said, if I've got to fucking get on a plane, if I've got to go further, I'll get on a plane.
Yeah.
Get on a
absolutely.
motel.
But like you said, it just makes life, when you do want to get away for a weekend, it just makes life so much easier.
Mm.
You don't end up with your truck looking like some sort of Indian van with like kids hanging off the side, a goat on the roof, bales of hay, all that sort of shit that you got to drag along with you. You know, you can just open the door, turn it on.
One little thing I want to give a shout out to is the fucking generators these days.
Yeah.
Fuck, they have gone a long way. Like, you know, the Honda and Yamaha back in the last 10, 15 years, they've been like by us and nothing else.
Yeah.
And I think all these shit brands now that are coming up are just blasting them. They're just way
Well,
better.
I think when you go through and look at them, so many of them are sharing parts and engines now, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like the Audis and the
Yeah.
Lamborghinis.
The Audi and Lamborghini and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and it's the same with the fridges, all your camp fridges. So many of them are using those Danfoss compressors now because they're the best compressor.
I got that track. I think it's a TrackMate. It's 2,700 watts.
Yeah.
And it's probably the size of a carton of piss.
Yeah, it's about the same size as one of the Honda ones, like a Honda 2 kVA.
It's probably even smaller. It's a little bit shorter and a little bit taller.
Yeah,
Not much taller, but and same width and all that. But it's got like a little electric fob, so you can just turn it on and you can put it up in the bush, 100 meters away, whatever, and be in your caravan and just press on and brrr, and it starts up in the bush.
Have you run it?
Starts a bushfire.
Have you run it in its compartment on the van?
Not yet, no. I just put it in there about an hour ago because.
Oh, did you?
Oh mate, he gives you the fucking. Here you go. Here's your generator. It's still in the box. And I said, "Has it got oil in it?" He goes, "No, you'll have to get that. Open up. First thing on top is oil."
Oh, it's got oil.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, you know your product.
Yeah.
So I put the oil in, and then he it wouldn't fit in the compartment, and that's the reason why he didn't have it in the compartment ready to go.
It's too tall, wasn't it?
It's too tall, so I just took the rubber mounts off the bottom, and she fits now.
If it's all right.
But she'll just rattle.
Oh, what
Be
about
right because it's on a bit of a slide, so it should be right.
some conveyor belt? Oh, is
No,
there
you
enough
don't
room?
want to put any. There's no room at all. You
Is there
can't
really
put
not?
anything. It's actually just skimming it.
What about the handles? The handle come off?
No, it doesn't. I
Does
was
it?
looking at grinding that off.
It'll come off.
It'll come.
It'll
off with a
come
grinder.
off.
But
You
it's
know
actually-
it'll come off.
It's part of the actual frame and chassis of it.
Oh, is
if
it?
you cut it, it'll probably just fall apart on the ground.
Nah. Only one way to find out.
Yeah.
And then just blame it on warranty.
Well, when you're grinding, there's only a petrol tank right there too.
That's what a wet towel's for, bro. What else is new? We had a game of footy earlier this week. And I'll tell you what, didn't do my blood pressure any good. I mean, the blood pressure's not been real flash lately anyway. That didn't help.
Oh.
Because that first half, we were just rolling over the top of them, weren't we? It just, like, probably one of the best halves I've seen a Queensland side play in a few years.
No,
They were on
definitely.
fire.
And
They
Val
really
Holmes
were.
can kick a fucking football.
Tell me what.
Yeah.
Just a really good striker of the ball, that
And
dude,
and
didn't
was
he?
like, yeah, he still reminds me of one of your kids, eh? Looks like one of them. Just a all grown up version.
Oh, you reckon? Hopefully they're getting paid like he is too. I always thought Val Holmes was one of those. I feel like he almost benefit. You missed your mouth there, cuz. How many is that today?
I'm on my third.
I feel like Val Holmes didn't lose anything by going over to American football. I feel like he came back just sharper and more dynamic, like just the training that they do over there and that sort of stuff. Because he came back a couple of kilos heavier and just everything he does is just so sharp and dynamic. You know what I mean? His stepping, his footwork.
If he had another 10, 15 kilos on him, he'd be unstoppable.
Oh, he'd be unstoppable. Because he's not, like, compared to a lot of those boys there, he doesn't look like the biggest guy. I mean, I don't know what
What's his weight? It'd be 85 or something
Nah,
like
no
that.
way. He'd
80,
still be, I reckon
85.
he's still 95 to
No,
98.
we had a look the other day, I'm pretty sure. I think he was like 80, 85.
Valentine,
Valentinos Rossi.
where is he? 91. Yeah, see, that's not that big, is it? 6'1" and 91, 90
6'1"?
kilos.
Is he 6'1"?
Really?
He's not that tall.
And if he's
That's
six-
my height.
And to be that solid, surely he's got to be a bit heavier than that. I reckon he'd be tipping 95 because he's pretty chunky. Like even when he was kicking the
I
ball
didn't-
the other
I-
day, I looked at his legs.
Can you Google again? But I don't reckon 6'1's.
Yeah, I reckon he'd
you
be
reckon
6'1". Yeah, because you got to remember,
He
man,
looks fucking
all
short
these
on the
guys, but
field,
all
eh?
these guys now are 6'3", 6'4". I saw bloody what's his name, Latrell Mitchell up in Cairns 2-3 years ago, standing outside a restaurant waiting to go in with his missus. Man, he is a monster. Like
Yeah.
he's got to be 6'4", if not a little bit more. And he's got a badonky donk on him that sticks out about 6 inches behind his back. Like he's 90 and 6'1".
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, he was really
I wouldn't
good.
have picked that at all.
But halftime,
He's only 29.
yeah, true. He's still got a bit left in him. But halftime killed us, didn't it? It was just halftime. We just went off the boil big time.
Yeah, I think the New South Wales would have realised that. Hey, we need to get back because
And they did.
The main thing is I think little bit of injury in there. I reckon Cleary's leg was a bit fucked there.
Yeah. Well, they
he
reckon
could-
he's out for the last one.
because it looked fucked.
Yeah, he
it looked
looked
like
sore.
he couldn't kick. He couldn't even kick.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why he wasn't kicking the goals and
Yep.
all that sort of thing. And I'm glad Lomax is shit
Yeah, because
because he's usually a good kicker.
Well, I wonder how many they've missed now because they missed a heap in the first game.
Well, he missed.
They must have missed 4 or 5 in the first
Yeah,
game, and I
they're
think he
probably on
missed
about-
4 in this game.
They're
So
probably on about 20% in Origin.
not good, not good at all. They really did not. They got what do they got? What do they got? Penalty count.
Yeah, so they're pretty
one,
full on the amount of
8 penalties.
But
Oh no, that's.
if you also see all the tries are on the wing, like everything was out wide.
But they
All
do
on the
now. The
right
way they
side.
create the tries now, it's all just designed to suck people in, to suck teams in.
Yeah.
And they only need, those wingers need the tiniest amount of space to score a try now, don't
I
they?
think the best rule they ever made was get rid of that corner post being you're out if
Yeah,
you hit it.
yeah. Because the way these guys score tries now,
Yeah.
and you see them practicing it, like they have mats out and hit pads and they're diving for corners while getting hit and all that sort of stuff. Shout out, in a losing team though, shout out to that Brian To'o.
Yeah.
Because, man, I don't think there's a better winger in the game at the moment,
I
and I
just-
don't know if we've had a better winger ever.
All right, let's go to weight on him because
He is a power pack, isn't he?
no, he runs at front rowers
And
and they do
bounces
not
them.
hit him.
I know.
I'm like, and if someone smash him,
I know.
and they
And you
won't hit
see
him.
it every game.
And he just like powers through them.
He does.
There was a player,
97 and 182.
he's
far
nearly 7
out.
kilos.
So,
So he's nearly 6 foot. He's 6'2". How
he's
could
my
he be
s-
6 foot?
He's my size. He's my size.
Fucking hell, all these players.
Obviously, he's probably not as athletically gifted. But his ability to just run through tackles, and just keep his legs pumping. Look at the calf muscles on the dude.
There was
Holy shit balls. He's built, whoa.
Bill-
Look at the calf on it. That's a football in itself.
I'm trying to remember his fellow's name. He used to play footy against. He used to play for Kangaroos or the local North Queensland people. And he reminds me, he played exactly the same as this fella.
Same sort of thing.
Short
Short,
fella, little
stocky.
solid fella, and just he was the gun.
Well, it's that low center of gravity too, isn't it? It's so hard to tackle when they're so much lower than you. And he just pumps his legs. He just pumps his legs and he just runs through so many people. And he's a good dude too.
Yeah.
It's hard not to like the dude. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Even as a Queenslander, you can't not like him. But he's
I can not like him on
one day,
Wednesday
yeah,
nights.
3 days a year we can hate on him.
Yeah.
But he
That's what I was just saying. Just smash
but
him.
he just kept going down that wing.
Because he did over 200
That's
meters.
solid.
He was at 180 and he was still 75 minutes in. Well, 60 minutes in.
220 or something like that. I think
Yeah.
he ended up racking up. So, but that last half, they came back, man, and there was a period that I was talking to my little fellow who was sitting next to me on the couch, and I said, mate, we might lose this.
Yeah.
It was about 15 minutes to go, and they were just rolling.
Yeah. But all right, let's have a chat about what they class as a fucking knock on these days.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't even get me started.
Like for real,
Yeah, I know.
every pass is a forward pass. Then if you even if it was a New South Wales player, I would have fucking cracked up the same amount.
It seems like it's just a loss of control now.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with the direction it goes. If they just lose control, it's a knock on.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. They say that it's supposed to travel towards their own own try line.
And it fucking did.
But yeah, there was a few. There was a few that it went on like that. You know,
And the main one we're talking about is bloody the fullback. What's his name? Bloody
Ponga,
I'm shit with my name.
Kalen Ponga. Yeah,
Kalen
yeah,
Ponga.
yeah.
So he jumped up. He pretty much, like a good fullback should, you twist and turn back towards your thing. So if you drop it, it goes backwards.
And
that's
it
what
went
you're supposed to do.
backwards.
And it went backwards.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, mate, it's play on it. It all worked out. And then they're like, no, we're going to the bunker. The bunker called it. Bunker
knock
had
on.
50 looks at it and called it a fucking knock on.
I know.
I'm like, those people in that bunker should be sacked for life.
I just don't understand how they come to it though, because even Tino had one as well where he got rattled and the ball came out, but it went backwards. Like I go off where their feet are. Like if the ball lands behind their feet,
Yeah.
well then it's got to be a knockback.
It's the same as a pass.
It's the same as a pass. So I think they're getting too technical with it now, and they're scrutinising in the wrong way. You're
Yeah.
not scrutinising in the spirit of the game.
And I also said there should be another law or another rule, like when you play touch football, not really touch football, but you play at football training, and if someone does a silly pass, and your coach will say it's silly pass, fucking just pick it up, and the other team gets it.
Yep.
Because it's more or less teaching you don't do stupid
Yeah.
things. And there was one where the Hammer put his hand up, or Coates put his hand up and accidentally touched the ball in a tackle,
Yep.
and it went out over the sideline.
Yep.
And they said he played at it, and it was a stupid pass. Old mate shouldn't have passed it because and all that sort of. I reckon they should bring in a silly pass rule, like a stupid.
Oh yeah, maybe. I know what you're coming from.
Yeah,
I know where
it
you're
should be
coming
like
from.
if you want to throw silly things, and this fella accidentally touches it, it was going out, even if he didn't touch it over the fucking sideline.
Yeah. There was a few calls. I know New South Wales blew up a fair bit about the penalty count in the first half because I think it was like 8-0 at one stage or 9-1 or something like that.
Yeah, it's usually the other way around, guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think positivity breeds positivity, and when you've got a team going forward, rolling forward, scoring tries, playing positive, you just get the rub of the green.
Yeah,
That's footy.
pretty
Do you know what I mean?
And that's Origin.
and it is
That's how
origin.
Origin
And I think it's footy
is
at
won.
any level, really. You know what I mean? Like if one team looks to be on top, I think it's probably more a subconscious thing with the
Yeah.
refs. And I think even Matty Johns and his young fellow were talking about it on their podcast, and Matty Johns hit the nail on the head. He said, if you go back and look at every one of those penalties, they're all penalties.
Yeah.
You're not going to overturn any of them. They were all right calls. It's just that at the time, Queensland was going forward at a rate of knots, and they had the upper hand for a half. And then it swung around the other way in the second half, and New South Wales had the upper hand in the other half. It just, it is what it is. That's
and when you get a few silly calls and a few bad mistakes, your whole team turns like it's all a mental thing. They turn from attacking into defending into saving the game.
Yeah, and that's where we went wrong. Hey, we just started defending our lead instead of trying to build our lead some more. We just went to a real defensive attitude instead of attacking and rolling forward.
I think they were trying to just get out of their half, put the pressure on them down, and try to get something going.
I was glad to see that Kurt Capewell came in. I said that last week that we needed just a big, strong back rower that runs hard lines and isn't afraid to get hit, isn't afraid to put hits on. He was good. That Lindsay Collins came out, flattened bloody, what's his name? Spencer Leniu, flattened him on that first run, which was pretty freaking awesome. And they gave everyone a big, all the boys kind of jumped up and down about that one. So they were heaps better. But now they've got to go to Sydney and they've got to beat New South Wales in Sydney. That's a big call. But they reckon there's going to be no Mitchell Moses and no Cleary.
Yep.
So all of a sudden you've got Luai, who has been playing 7 at the Tigers, but has played a lot of 6 at Origin level. And they're talking about bringing in they're talking about that Luke Metcalf from the Warriors, who's been unreal, or that Isaiah Katoa from the Dolphins. Yeah. He's only 21.
Yeah.
But to be honest,
I think Metcalf will probably get in there.
I don't know, man. That Katoa has damn near been the best 7 in the game this year. Like, he's been unreal.
But the thing is, they're just going to bring in someone who's had a little bit more time in the game.
Maybe, but what if Katoa's moving forward? What if Katoa's going to be their answer for the next probably over a decade?
Cleary, how old's Cleary?
I don't know how old Cleary is. I reckon he's probably 27.
25.
You reckon?
He's not that old, eh?
You don't think?
Age.
27.
27.
Yeah, okay.
So he's got another at least 5 to 6 years.
He has. And that Katoa's, 6 years behind him. I think he only just turned 21. K-A-T-O-A. There he is, Isaiah Katoa. What is he? 21. Just turned 21.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're actually...
That's young, hey?
So we're recording this on a Sunday as well. So always got to say when it is because different stuff changes.
So it'd be interesting to see who they pick. I don't know who they're going to chuck in there.
And the only other one I want to talk about is how many people have to be in a tackle before it's a one-man strip.
Oh, yeah. Look, I saw that too, and my little fella blew up about it. But these guys practice it now. They've got calls to drop off. You know, if there's 3 in a tackle and someone's got a good purchase on the ball.
We're always locally in a game. If there's 3 people on there, even if everyone drops off and you pull it, there's 3 people in that tackle. That's the way the ref's seen it.
Yeah, I know. But at that level, they don't now. If it's one-on-one, and that's, like I said, that's why they practice it. It was like everyone used to get the shits at Melbourne for their wrestling.
Yeah.
Melbourne were the first team to really learn how to wrestle. They used to have Greco when they initially started doing that whole wrestle on the ground and slowing the ruck down. They had like Greco-Roman coaches come in and teach them how to wrestle and throw people around.
I was talking to Ty at Pride, and he had a jiu-jitsu coach.
Jiu-jitsu guys coming in and showing them how to
hold people down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know what I mean? And it's the same with this one-on-one strip thing. They get 3 in the tackle like they always do, and they say off or drop or whatever their call might be, and 2 blokes let go, and all of a sudden, boof, the ball comes out. It's just the evolution of the game, isn't it? They bring in these rules. You know, the one rule I just don't like.
But I'm just saying they can police that and have 3 blokes in a tackle, they drop off, and old mate rips it out. All fucking good, but old mate knocks it back 2 meters and knock on.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. You know what I mean? Like, if it goes towards the dead ball, it should be a knock on.
Well, should be, yeah.
Should be.
In the NRL.
In the NRL, you'd think so, but it just doesn't quite work that way. I don't understand. I really don't.
Well, that's the only thing I like about rugby. Rugby gets away with, like, a lot more knock-ons happen, and they just let it flow a bit more, and they sort of, even forward passes, they're just like, oh, could be, it couldn't be, you know.
The one I don't like is the 6 again ball. It just
that bell, when you hear that bell, you just want to punch the telly,
and you're getting, it's almost become a thing now that if a team gets one repeat set, it's almost guaranteed they're going to get another one.
Yeah.
Because it's 12 tackles, just bang, 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 bang,
but
one
the
after
thing is-
another, and then somebody else gets offside. Then all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's 18 tackles, one after
Yeah,
another.
and it's one after another instead of getting that scrum break
Yeah.
where it can get your breath back a bit. And what was the silly one where the other day there, I don't know if it was Origin or, yeah, it was Origin. Old mate getting his head taped up.
Yeah, that pissed me right off, actually. I even said that to the missus
That
while we
was
were watching the
bullshit.
game. It was because that was like almost a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And you could see that trainer was fucking
Yeah,
around. Like he
dropping
was
shit
deliberately
and- yeah.
fucking around. He was taking the piss. And the worst part was they were on the try line. He could have taken
Taking
8
him
big
off,
steps
push him
backwards
off
and he
the
would have been
block,
over the
back.
dead ball line.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been an issue. Even Joey Johns brought it up. It's the
Yeah.
first time I've heard Joey Johns
He
be.
was actually really good.
He
in
was
that
really
Origin.
good as a commentator.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't one-eyed at all. He
It
was just
sounded like
called
he
it-
had hate for him.
Yeah. No, he just called it as it was,
Yeah.
and it was. He said it earlier in the week too about Cameron Munster getting made captain.
Yep.
And he said, "I reckon that's going to be a master stroke," and it was. Man,
Yeah.
Munster just plays with that arrogance, cockiness, just
cockiness.
bouncing around in front of people, swatting them in the face when they try and tackle him and stuff like
They
that.
put a bit of Rockhampton dirt in his boots
Yeah,
too.
yeah. He just
you see
plays
that?
well. Yeah, I did. He just plays well when he's like that, eh? When he's got his tail up and that sort of stuff. He just loves it. You know what I mean? So good on him. They got
He
up
just
there.
needs a haircut. Fuck that fucking haircut up
let
he's
it
got
go.
off and
Let
just
it
go back
go.
to. It looks like a fucking 80s rock porn star or something.
With the mow and that sort of
Mow
stuff.
and
They're
the flowing.
atrocious, aren't they? Yeah. And then you look at the rest of his bloody Melbourne Storm team. They're all the same. That was a good game last night too. Melbourne Storm got up over the Rabbitohs by 1 in Golden Point.
Did they?
Yeah, it was a good game. They bounced
They get
out to
some players back. Or
they bounced out to a bit of a lead and then
have some players back up.
yeah, they did. Pretty
They
much
did?
all of them backed up. Yeah. They bounced out to a bit of a lead and then Latrell Mitchell, man, just being Latrell Mitchell, just weapon. And Alex Johnson, the winger for the
Yep.
Rabbitohs, bro.
Mm.
Man, he is only 6 tries short
Of
of
the
the
best ever.
all-time scoring record.
Yeah.
All time.
Because that's what
Try scoring record. That's insane.
I've got a mate who goes for Chris Cass, if you're listening, goes for the Rabbitohs, and every time he puts a thing on, Quinell or trifecta, whatever, try scorer,
Yep. You got to put him
he's
in.
gotta put him in.
You got to
puts
put him
every
in.
time.
Yeah. You absolutely got to put him in because Ken Irvine, I think, has the record currently. Yeah, Irvine's on 212 and he's now on 206.
So Johnson scores 4. So he scored 4.
He scored 4.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And I think 3 of them came straight from Mitchell.
Yeah.
Like he was on fire. And that's why also going back to State of Origin, I've got to give a bit of props to that Robert Toyer, the rookie that came in to mark Latrell, because Latrell's been pretty quiet in the Origin.
Mm. Yeah,
That
he did
young
pretty
fella's
well.
young fella's held on to him, and he's a monster to hold on to because he went back to this and nearly won, nearly kicked another 50-metre field goal to win it,
Yeah.
but it just missed. It cleared the crossbar, just missed the post by a bit.
And Latrell did another good pass there in that game.
Oh,
I'm
he's
like,
just
this bastard, he's just so good with
he
his
is
hands.
so
eh?
good, eh? Like he is, man. And I think I think too in the media they've beat him up to just be a bit of a, especially north of the border, they've just beat him up to be a bit of a, I don't know. It's just a bit of a hate campaign on Latrell sometimes, I think, because you read all the stuff he does off the field, and off the field, everyone seems to love the bloke.
Yeah.
No one's ever had an issue with him off the field. You know, the one issue that he's ever had off the field was when him and Jack Whiten got done by that copper or something like that. They got falsely arrested, and in the end, the copper got the sack because he bullshitted. He lied. So he's a monster of a kid. He's a monster of a kid. So yeah, I don't know if we can roll him in Sydney. I hate to say that. I hope we do.
I think a little bit that stirred a bit of shit was Woodsy calling bloody Billy a grub.
Yeah. And I heard an interesting take on it by Hoffman. Ryan Hoffman was on a TV show. I can't remember which one it was, one of the sports shows, yesterday talking about it. And he said it really is a bit rich, and it seems to be, and he's right, it's around Origin time. The media just wants to stir shit.
Yeah.
Because the players have probably gone away from stirring shit now. It's become too professional.
Well, you stir shit with people who would stir shit back.
Well, yeah.
And the thing is, Billy's not going to stir any shit
No.
back. He's a professional. That's what he does. He's a professional person. There's no bullshit in him.
And Hoffman brought up a really good point. He said, he goes, I remember at an Origin game a few years ago, Aaron Woods made a point of taking his son over to meet Billy after a game and get an autograph and that sort of stuff and hang out with Billy Slater for a while. He's like, well, why would you do that if he's grub?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I...
So it's just...
If you've seen the video where Billy explains what happened, he said, yeah, I actually met his son 4 weeks prior to this.
That's what I mean.
And had a yarn with him, and I didn't seem like a grub then.
No, that's exactly right. So it just, I don't know. I think it's media as well. They want to beat it up because, like I said, the Origin boys, it's too professional now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, whenever they want some big hits in Origin, and there is some big hits in Origin, but no one's going to throw fists anymore. Yeah. And it's handbags at 10 paces. They shake each other around by the scruff of the neck, and yeah.
And like Billy said, he goes, we're putting their position they're in because of a privilege.
Yeah, and, right.
And you go up there and you're abusing your privileged boy, just talking absolute shit.
Just talking rubbish.
And yeah, and he said just some people should be in the position, some people shouldn't. And he pretty much just showed that.
Yeah, that's right.
Shouldn't be
exactly.
In it,
exactly.
Needs to pull his head in.
He does. So we'll wait and see. 2 more weeks and we'll wait and see. On the Union front, shout out to the Canterbury Crusaders, man. They won another Super Rugby title. I think that's like 14 or 15 Super Rugby titles.
Where's the cricket sound?
They're one. Shut up. They're one of the most successful. They're fourth from the top, Crusaders Rugby Union. I think they are now the most successful club team in history. It's or something ridiculous like that. So they beat the Chiefs 16-12, maybe. Yeah, 16-12. There it is. And 13 titles it is. 13 titles. That's crazy. That is crazy talk. 13 titles is too real. Wikipedia. Far out, man.
Christchurch. They just want to get it. They just want to play somewhere else.
Oh, they just keep...
bloody...
Well, the thing was,
the buildings fall on top of them over there.
For a long period of time, they had Dan Carter and Richie McCaw, the two best players in the world, plus a few others that were all like the elite of the elite. So it was a given that they were all going to win. But like those guys all retired back in 2015, so 10 odd years ago now, and they just keep winning.
Yeah.
They just keep winning. They just bring these kids that no one's ever heard of. You know, they might have played New Zealand schoolboys, and then they go straight from schoolboys into Super Rugby or top flight rugby and don't miss a beat.
Yeah.
Don't miss a beat. They just get better.
Is there money in rugby? Like,
there is, man. Look, probably not in New Zealand, and that's why New Zealand rugby has this sabbatical thing that they do. So if they've got All Blacks that are contracted, they'll actually release them from their contract for 2 years if they get big offers from like European teams, European League, Japanese League. There's big coin in the Japanese League now and that sort of stuff. So they'll release them for 2 years to go over and chase big coin. Like at the moment, Geordie Barrett's been overseas, Artie Savea, Rico Ioane's just about to go over there. And these are all top flight, first choice All Blacks.
They're smart. If you give them a sabbatical, at least they're going to come back.
They're going to come back. And that's they realised that they couldn't compete with that kind of money. Yeah. So there you go. Top 14 in France is known for its high salaries. Some players are getting $1 million a year. The first player to ever get $1 million a year over there was actually a prop from New Zealand, Carl Heyman, and he had only played 20 or 30 games for the All Blacks, and he basically left and never came back. Yep. And he was the big reason they started this sabbatical thing because they were like, far out, we're just going to lose these guys if we don't.
Especially if he goes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the Japanese league, Rugby League Japanese top league, I think they call it. They actually pay really, really well too. Like most of these Kiwi and Wallaby players, when they're done and they retire, they go straight over to Japan and keep playing.
Yep.
There's
a rugby league at one.
No, that's the rugby. That's the rugby. I don't know why they've got that in there. That's a different competition. But there's a player that was playing for the All Blacks for a while. You might have heard of him, Ma Nonu, big dreadlock wearing monster. Bro, he's still playing in the French top 14 competition, and he is 43 years old.
Yep.
43, still playing top flight rugby, and getting paid an absolute mint because he's still one of the best in his positions. It's incredible. 43 years old to be playing at that level. Like
I reckon he just sits in ice baths and saunas.
And I think I mentioned the British and Irish Lions are coming out here this year, which is always a big deal. You know what I mean? Like that's the peak of the bunch from all the UK teams. They put a team together every 4 years, and they come and do a tour out here. So they're coming to Australia this year. They've got 3 tests against the Wallabies, and then in between, I think there's 4 games against like the provincial Super Rugby teams. So New South Wales, ACT, Queensland, and the Western Force.
Yep.
I think. but they've just had a warm-up game against Argentina and got rolled.
Yeah, by Argentina.
Argentina beat them 28-24. And I think a lot of people are kind of just, scoffing at that, but they really shouldn't, because in the last 2 years, Argentina's beat the Springboks, the All Blacks and the Wallabies.
Yeah.
Argentina aren't chumps anymore. Like, they're a really, really good rugby side.
Mm.
So I think it's put the Northern Hemisphere's kind of gone, oh, shit, maybe we're not that good. Uh-oh. Because I think Northern
they should put it like an Anzac team together.
Well, that's what they were talking about doing, a Kiwi, like a Barbarians team. And I think they are still going to. I don't know who's been named in that, just for an extra game for them to play, because it's only once every 4 years.
Yeah.
And the amount of money those Lions tours generates absurd.
Yeah, put an Anzac team together and put all the best out of those.
Because I was reading in the Northern Hemisphere, they have these like big group bookings where your accommodation, your airfares, all your tickets, all that, blah, 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 are all organised. And you get the Barmy Army comes out and follows them around. And they reckon that's upwards of about 20,000 people come out from the UK to follow these guys around.
Yeah, I think they
said
the amount of money that it produces.
It's crazy.
Like $20 million.
Oh, it's crazy.
Like that
well, some of those packages are 40,000 quid.
Quid too.
To
that's
do
80,000 Australian.
That's what I mean. To come out for 3 or 4 weeks or however long the tour is and follow them around.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal. I had a look. Me and a mate of mine had a look not long back to see what the ticket prices were, and like cheap seats were $500. Because you got to remember that half the stadium is pretty much sold out before they even get here, and then you throw in all your sponsorship, corporate boxes, all that sort of stuff. There's not a huge amount of tickets left by the time they go on sale. So that's kind of giving them a bit of a fright, I think. Yeah, giving them a bit of a fright. Anyway,
so you have any pub ammo?
Yeah, of course.
Here comes the pub ammo thing.
Yeah,
pub
yeah.
ammo!
Pub ammo!
Let's go.
That's what we're
pub
about.
Ammo
That's
time.
what we're about.
Just before we get to the pub ammo, we've got shares in a horse.
We do. Go. Did it win?
No, it ended up with it ended up with a tent around it. No.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it actually won.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, look out.
Yeah, I think the two flogs, they call it Gary. We should make our own name up for it. They got a name for it. They call him Gary.
Yeah.
Because it's the two flogs silent call. It's their horse.
Okay.
It's like they put a thing together. So
yeah.
we got a 2% share in it. So we're
wicked.
Yeah, I think we'll end up with $20 out of that win.
buy it a bale of hay on us, boys. Rhodes hay, good hay.
So it had a good win today. Actually, it was today, Sunday.
Was it?
And it and actually flogged them. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. In its hometown in Wollongbar. It had a run.
Down at the bar.
I put $80 on it to win, and then I'm like, oh fuck, it won. I'll see how much I won. $90. I was like, what? It was paid like $1.08.
$1.08 is that all? Oh, that's shit.
Fuck. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm here with boy. We go out for dinner tonight.
That's the off to Macca's for a cheeseburger meal.
But because it only had like five horses in this race too. So when they the gates open, like, where's the rest of the cunts? I was looking like, shit, it better win.
little country races. Yeah. Little country races.
Yeah, so they Silent Call had a win, and I'm happy as that. So yeah, keep an eye on Silent Call.
Away we go.
Black book that one, but don't black book it, because when you put things on it, then it's going to bring the odds down. So fuck yous.
Yeah,
don't black book it.
Stop betting on our horse, our 2% horse.
So they call it Gary. What should we call it?
Oh, look, Gaz?
Yeah, Gaza.
Gaza? Gaza.
Gaza.
Up in Gaza.
The pub side of things, Gaza.
Gaza. It'd have to be Gaza, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's Gaza.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I got one. Now, I work at the hospital, right? Do you know what hospital stands for?
No.
Oh, neither did I until I heard this. It stands for House of Sick People in Trauma and Labour.
For real?
For real. That's where the word hospital come from. You like that? I know. That's pretty clever, I reckon.
Yeah, everyone out there's going.
I didn't think it was an abbreviation.
I reckon
no, I didn't think it was either. Yeah. I just thought it would have come from the word like hospice.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Or hospice, like Gary.
Like Gaza. Yeah, all right. What do you got?
Oh, and I've got all right. I was watching a thing today it's on 60 Minutes on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's pretty good how 60 Minutes puts them
Yeah.
stories
I watch
up
a bit of
on
their
YouTube
stuff.
now. The Crystal caves in Noyaca. I think it's in Mexico. It's the largest crystals in the world.
Okay.
Have you seen pictures of them? If you
No.
Google a picture of
How do you
them,
spell it?
Niaca, I think it's spelled. Just right, crystal cave.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Local crystal cave.
Bring
All
up
right.
a picture of the size of these motherfucking crystals. What's this? That's not it. That's not it.
Wow, look at
No,
that.
that's not it.
Oh,
No.
whatever that was
No,
pretty
see
cool.
the top right up there?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
That
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
yeah.
righto. Shit.
So it's underneath a mine. So how they
Yeah.
found it was the mine was digging and then it drained the water out of this area and it exposed it.
Yeah.
And these crystals some of them are 11 meters high and weigh over 55 tons.
Holy. Man, that looks like something out of like a space movie,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
But see these people in this video? If you're just wearing normal clothes, a normal human being in that room, you know how long you can last in that room for? Where that man's standing there right now?
I don't know.
You can stay there for maximum probably 15 minutes. 10 is for most people.
Why?
Is it because your lungs fill with water from
Nah,
the humidity?
It's 100% humidity and 48 degrees
Is it?
in there.
And is that part of the reason that they grow so good in there?
Well, that's how they grew. They grew under. It's actually that was full of water, so they grew in. Because what happens was underneath there's a lava flow underneath,
Okay.
and pushing warm water up
Yep.
through seams, and it just created these crystals.
Just the perfect environment for
Yeah.
growing crystals.
And now that there's a mine there
Gypsum
around it.
crystals.
Now that the mine's sort of taken the water out of it, those crystals are actually slowly dying.
Oh, true. Fill it back up.
Yeah. So and the mine's making too much money, so we're not going to we're not going to fill
really?
it back up. But they said maybe by the end of it they'll fill it back up. But then it'll be known that it's there, but you can't go see it because
I tell you what, though,
there.
fill that back up with water and that'll make a hell of a dive site, man.
I don't reckon you could because you'd die in the water because of 48
Like
degrees.
acidic. Yeah.
Oh, it probably would be too, wouldn't it? It'd get too hot.
Yeah, the water's.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
it's
but
hot.
maybe the water would cool it.
No, the water's hot water. That's why it's
Is it?
actually steam water that's coming up from below from the lava.
All the thermal stuff underneath
Yeah.
it. Wow. That is cool, man. I've never heard of that.
And they said you go in there for 10 minutes and your body temperature goes once it hits 39 degrees, you got to get the fuck out of there or you die.
Far out.
Sweating has no cooling,
effect in that environment.
Mm.
Temperature's about 50 degrees Celsius with a relative humidity of 90. Oh my God. Ugh. That'd be worse than a sauna. How hot's a sauna normally go?
Yeah, they get up there around. You can get
Is
up
sauna
around
normally
50.
around 50? Is it?
You can go 38 to 50. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because what happens with everyone's like, it's not really the temperature, it's the humidity that really.
Yeah.
My father-in-law is really big was in the fire brigade, and they talk about, he just knows all about chemicals and temperatures and all that shit.
that sort of stuff.
And he talks about humidity with heat. Like you can have 40-degree day, you can go and work on it if it's 20% humidity.
Yep.
And as the humidity comes up, that number drops drastically. So you got to, at a 90%, you can only really survive well if you're adapted at like 33 degrees, like as we do up here.
Yeah. Yep.
But you get someone from down south, drop them off here, and they haven't adapted, they'll fold because they haven't adapted to the humidity.
Okay. All right. So humidity is the killer, but we know that, don't
Because your body can't control by sweating.
Yep.
So it just sweats out more, and it's actually not doing it. And your body's like, "Come on, mate, we need to do shit."
It was like the that African tribe that chased the animals down on foot. They can sweat because they've got skin and we sweat.
Yeah.
Whereas the animals that they're chasing don't sweat. They can only lose their heat through their mouth.
Yeah.
So they just keep a constant pressure on them to the point where the animal just gets exhausted after 6 hours of constantly being on the go, and they just walk up and stab it.
And then they go and win gold medals at Olympics.
And then they go and goblins. That's exactly right.
Pretty much. That's
Yeah.
pretty good, though. Crystal caves. Have it. Even Google them while you're there, people, while you're listening, just to see the size of these crystals. They're huge. They look man-made, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks
Looks
like I said,
fake.
it looks like something that had come out of a
Yeah.
what do you call it? A movie.
Oh, just talking about sweating. I got pub ammo.
Yeah, go.
What sweats milk?
What? No. Well, what?
Platypus.
What?
Platypuses sweat milk.
Sweat milk. What sweats milk as well? Well, they don't actually sweat the way human. The milk oozes out of the mammary gland ducts, their abdomen, collects in the grooves. They sweat. Really? That is some weird. As if those animals couldn't get any
Yeah,
weirder.
they're already
they
weird
just
enough.
did.
Wait, and talk about weird. I look across at Quinn, and he's just like got this weird smile on his face, and I'm like, "What are you like smiling at?"
Yeah, right.
Just weird facts coming into my head.
They are. They're
Weird
such
facts.
a weird little critter, aren't they? Like who
And they
came
got
up
like
with that?
barbs as well or something.
Yeah, they've got like what do they call them?
Oh.
On their back legs.
Yeah, venom.
Do they have venom in them?
Yeah, they got venom in their
Poisonous.
yeah, in their claws.
Are they?
Oh, no, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Fucked.
No, not milk. They
Not the
actually
milk.
do have a venom
On their
tendrils, whatever they call it.
tendrils. Now we're just making shit up.
Yeah, here.
Yeah,
Male
on their
platypus
fucking-
are
Male
venomous.
platypus is
On their
venomous.
spur, that's the
Yeah.
word, spur. Is
Hind
a
leg.
venom-producing gland. They have venom as well.
Mm.
I never knew that.
And they're actually blind underwater, aren't they?
What the hell?
They just use their nose.
That is the craziest animal on the planet. It's got to be.
Can't be that bad. Old mate's holding it. So
It's got a
he's not gonna
bill.
die
It's
if
a
they get you.
mammal that lays eggs. It's poisonous. It sweats milk. Dude, that is straight out of a friggin' alien movie, isn't it?
Oh, I've probably met some.
Imagine if those bastards were 20 feet
After
long.
last
We'd
week,
be
I'm not
cooked.
saying anything.
Yeah, no, you shut up, dude. He's definitely. The first message we got after we posted it last week was, "You guys are getting cancelled. 1640."
He gave us the time. He was right. He wrote 16:30. Ha ha ha. You're getting cancelled.
Thanks, Kev. We did run it by my missus first, and she was like, "Yeah, you've got to put it up." And then we posted it, and the first thing to come through was from Kev, and he was like, "Oh." I'm like, "Babe, you sure we should have posted that?" She's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. It was funny." Okay.
Because I actually played it on the phone
Yeah.
to you while she was listening.
Yep.
And then I went upstairs and said to me, "Miss, I just posted this. What do you reckon about this?" She's like, "Ooh."
Too late. It's up. All right. More pub ammo. I've got one for you. You ever heard of Digitus imputicus?
So it has to be something to do with one finger
Well,
or
it's
something.
yeah. Hey, you're spot on. One finger. That one. It's been around since Roman times.
Yeah.
Digitus imputicus. That's where it came from.
Did you just
Impudicus. Yeah, there it is. No. Yep. Latin phrase meaning shameless incident or offensive finger. Refers to the middle finger, which has been used as an insult for over 2 millennia, including in ancient Greece and Rome. That's how long the middle finger's been around for.
It just feels natural.
It does though, doesn't it?
does.
It just pops up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I read that and I was like, yeah, it can't be that bad if it's been around for that long.
Did you know you weigh less at the equator?
Do you?
Because of the Earth, the Earth bulges slightly at the equator, so gravity is weaker there. You're only 0.5% compared to being at the poles. So you're 0.5% lighter at the equator than if you're at the poles, like
Why?
North or South Pole.
Why?
Because of the gravity bulges or something.
Yeah,
And
the
there's-
Earth's bulge at the equator and centrifugal force caused by the
Caused by Earth's
rotation.
rotation. So how do the flat earthers explain that then?
Yeah.
Jokes, don't come at us, God.
Don't come at us,
or on us.
whoever you are, the two ears.
Yeah. True, eh? It bulges slightly. Hey, and that's like tides. Tides aren't going in and out.
No, they're
Tidal
just moving
movement is a
around.
bulge.
Yeah.
It's a bulge of water, which I thought
I
I
had
knew a
some
lot about the water.
tidal movement in my pants this morning.
That's gross.
Because I pissed them.
Did you tell me you did? Tell me you did. Did you really?
No, Oscar.
Oh, I haven't done that in months.
Oscar sent me a message and he said, "Oh, how's any leaks in the van?" I said, "Yeah, one at 2 and one at 4."
I used to be a bit shocking for pissing my pants, especially on a big night out. And I'd wake up in the morning. I remember waking up one morning and I was like, oh no, what have I done? And I start looking around the room and I'm touching the bed and I'm like, fuck, where is it? Where is it? And there's a pair of trackies on the floor, picked them up, drenched. So I've literally just stood up out of bed, pissed my pants, taken them off and jumped back in the bed. And this is why I don't drink anymore. Like, these are the types of things that happen. I piss myself in nightclubs just to see how long it is before I'm going to get kicked out. And if anyone's wondering, the record is 17. So I'll throw that out there to you fellas. If anyone thinks they can top it, away you go.
That's why they're replacing the back deck at Gilligan's.
Yeah, it was a long day, that one. It was a big day. A boxing day. It was messy.
So did you know that you can live without a lot of your organs?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So you can survive without your stomach, one lung.
Yep.
You can survive without your spleen.
Yep.
75% of your liver.
Yep.
80% of your intestines.
One kidney.
One kidney.
Yep.
Even one side of your brain.
I reckon there's a lot of people that could probably survive without one side of their
I think
brain.
a lot of people are doing that already.
I feel like there's a few that were born without one side of their brain.
Some people are born with only one kidney, eh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah, there's probably a lot, really. And then you look at, the technology that we have now. How much did the person...
No, so he the person that invented, like, I don't know what it was, either the CAT scans or something.
Yeah.
He didn't have anyone to test it on, so he tested it on himself, and it turns out he was surviving with like some tiny amount of his brain left. Yeah, yeah.
No
like
way.
this doctor dude, he had like a thing when he was younger, like a disease, and it ate away most of his brain.
I reckon some of yours might be going tto the way you wrote that.
How much did the person have that invented brain scans?
Missed a word.
Oh, that's too good.
Brain.
Can't say brain
Gonna bag you out.
Yeah, right. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. You know what always makes me wonder about all these scans and that sort of thing? How come, like, you got to lay down there and get it, but the person giving it steps out of the room?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, come on now. This can't be that good for us.
Have you seen that one where there's a meme where old mates, that one you always see where old mate's got his hands together and he's like looking around a corner a bit, and it's like, and then someone said your doctor when he's radio,
When he's scanning your brain.
he's scanning you. He's just looking around the corner.
Yeah. I've got one. Speaking of brains and heads, you ever heard of a dead pope hammer?
No.
Okay, so back in the days when popes used to die, they had this thing that they had to actually make sure that they were dead.
Hey.
So they used to use this thing called a dead pope hammer, and they'd smash him in the head just to make sure.
For real.
The persistent myth.
Oh.
All right, hang on. Sure, he might have been striking the head with a dead pope's hammer. Yeah. It involves the ceremonial opening of the holy door during the holy years. And that's what you get for fucking kids. Sorry. Anyone out there that sits on that Catholic side of the fence, apologies.
The whole 2 years.
Yeah.
So we have, how many satellites are in space right now, you reckon?
Oh, hundreds. Thousands, probably.
It'll blow your mind, really, when I've seen a video of it. There's 14,900, I think they're saying.
Over 9,000. Wow.
That's saying over 9, but I don't know.
Active satellites has now exceeded 10,000.
I watched one today, and it said it was 14,900 in the last.
Oh, it's got to be
year or
more
two.
than 10,000.
Well, that's 2023.
Because it says just there future projections that by 2030 it could be 100,000.
Yeah.
So there's got to be
Now
way
exceeded
more than
10,000.
6,000. Yeah. Really? That's a lot of shit floating around in space, isn't it? But how far up are satellites, though?
They're not that far.
They're not that far up, are they?
Far.
Like
they're only
just on the edge of
yeah.
space, aren't they? They're not that, the altitude isn't that high. Because what happens once they get too high? Do they just drift away from Earth? They just go like wherever?
I don't got no idea.
These are questions that are so far above our pay grade.
And another one was there's 14,900 satellites in space supposedly right now, and I just watched Elon Musk's thing blow up yesterday.
Did you see that? That was a hell of an explosion, man. Far out.
So I'm like, are rocket scientists actually rocket scientists? Like, think about it. They're like, oh my, yeah, you're a brain surgeon or a rocket scientist? Like, bloody hell, one blew up yesterday.
It did.
All you had to do was copy the other 14,999.
So in between 160 to 2,000 kilometers is their orbiting height, as in altitude. Far out. Fixed altitude of. Yeah, right. That's a lot of junk to be like. It's not only have we fucked this planet, we're starting on fucking the space that's around it too. Let's go litter that, because there's no emphasis on them to have to bring them back.
They showed a thing on it, but it like just showed around Earth and the little glowy things, and by the end of it, the whole Earth was just glowing. But it's not, if you walk outside, it's going to take a bit to see a satellite. So it's
man,
not that
I'll tell you
bad.
what. Whenever we've got the fire going at our place and we sit out on the chair and watch the world go by at night time, you'd be surprised, if like I've laid out there like stoned quite a bit and just stared up at the sky. And it's amazing how many you'll see.
Yeah, you'll see them, but it's not like this glowing thing like this picture showed.
No. It's just like a little...
Look out, they're fucking everywhere.
A little glowing speck shooting through the sky. Oh, I got one for you. Prisoners in colonial times, right? They didn't actually have like bars and stuff around them. They just used to draw a line. They used to scratch a line in the dirt. So if this was the area that they were being kept in, they just scratched a line in the dirt. And
were they running a race?
Yeah, no, like into a square or whatever, into an area. Yeah, the last one. Yeah. No, so they just, and it was called the deadline. You know why?
Yeah, you get shot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You went over and they just blew you away. And that's where the term meeting a deadline comes from.
Bloody hell.
Or sticking to a deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Useless piece of information.
Useless shit.
We've got lots of useless shit. And I've got something else here that says zipper hack. And that's it. I don't even know what the zipper hack was.
You got to keep it up.
Doing that.
Otherwise it falls out.
I really do. I've got to stop doing that.
Wear jocks when you wear a
yeah.
Have anything with a zipper. I've got a funny story about that.
Shoot, go.
So years ago, my mate Stork from Townsville.
Yep.
We were walking around the shopping centre in Townsville there one day. Stork never used to like wearing jocks. So he's walking around Townsville and my mate Oscar comes up and he goes, look at Stork over there, walking around. His old fella just clean hanging out of his fly.
No, you're kidding, was it?
So we seen how long we were just watching for like 20 minutes, watching him walk with his whole fly hanging out. Don't say anything. And he's just looking at us going, what the fuck are you laughing at? By the end of it, like, can't look down. He's like, oh, fuck.
You kidding? Oh, no. You get arrested for that these days, wouldn't you? Hey? I know why.
Not allowed in school.
But what sort of mates are we when your mate comes over and goes, look, his old fella's hanging out, and we're like, don't say anything.
But that's exactly what
we want to look at it longer.
You're obviously...
No, we're actually, we were walking behind him, and he was just walking forward, and he's just like looking around. I'm just like, you could see the odd person like, oh.
Should we tell him to put it away? No. Leave him.
Leave him, we're still flicking.
Yes, sickos. Oh, that's not right. That is not right.
There.
I'll tell you what is right, though.
Our right angle
cabinets. Mark and the team up in Gordonvale.
Yep.
Cabinet makers extraordinaire. So if
you know what
need
to do,
go and see Mark and the crew.
Because they know what to do.
Servicing all the cans.
And the rest of NQ.
Located in Gordonvale.
North of Innisfail.
Their cabinets are on sale.
Or the kitchen's off the rail.
And if you want a bitchin' kitchen.
Or just flex with the desk.
Go and see Mark and the crew.
And they'll sort the rest.
Absolutely.
And this table here.
And this table. Yep. Kitchens, bathrooms, workspaces, commercial spots, all that sort of thing. Go and give me a yell. Yep, he'll sort you out.
Definitely.
He's busy though. He might not get onto you until Christmas, but he'll get there.
Yeah, he reckons he's got less since we started with him.
That's good advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
It
So if
is.
anyone else wants to sponsor us, contact us here. Right?
Jump on board. Jump on board. We might actually be starting that OnlyFans we talked about, or Only Feet. Only Feet. Let's do Only Feet.
Do you like these?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rippers there.
Tinnier and all. Tinnier and all.
Tin in my ear. Tin ear.
And if you need anything this time of year up here, it's blowing its date out, and you are not going to get out on the water.
Yes, you are. You're going to go crabbing.
Well, yeah, that's about all you're going to get, particularly at the Woolshed. Or Gilligan's, in fact. But if you need any work done on your boat, so
Yep, it's time to get your boat into action because guess what? In another month or two, you're back on the water.
2 months. There'll be another 2 months.
So you need to start working on shit. Go and get your bearings. You can even buy your bearings off them, your leaf springs, all that sort of stuff, all your boat repairs, all that stuff. You can DIY it yourself or take it in there and they will bang it up for you.
At Coastal Marine on the main drag in Innisfail. So if you're coming up this way to explore the Cape, you need some last minute bits and pieces. If you want to repower your boat, the Mercury dealership. And you can attest to the Mercuries because you had an absolutely terrifying Merc on the back of that friggin' hooker that you had.
Yeah, had a 400 on it. Yeah, she used to dance.
Which was completely unnecessary. I don't know what you were compensating for, but there was no need to go to the reef that fast.
But of course, I got a little keel in the water. I needed a big keel in the on the water.
Call it whatever you want, mate. That was absurd.
No, when I'm swimming, I got a little keel. My boat needed a big one.
Oh, yeah. If you're into your hunting, you want gear to protect your dogs or locate your dogs or electrocute your dogs, they've got those things as well.
My dog's got one of them.
Yeah, my dog has too. Assholes need it. My kids need it too.
Yeah.
And firearms, thermal gear, scopes, rounds, all that sort of jazz.
Yeah, about years ago, I got done for firearm.
Huh? When?
I was at the service station filling up a car. You know that static. I thought you were going to put your hand on that fucking
crickets. I was waiting for it too. I was
actually at the service station filling up my car, and it was in winter. You know, when it's dry in winter, and you get that. I had one of them fleece fucking jumpers on.
Yeah.
Filling up my car, and fucking it jumped and started a fire. So I just dropped it and fucking ran. Cops got me for fucking possession of a firearm.
Oh my.
Okay. Quinn's looking at me like, fuck you for real.
I was like, I want to press the button.
They get worse and worse.
I think I've said this one on here before too.
They get worse and worse.
Probably
every week.
50 episodes back.
So,
must be. Where did you start?
Was it 60 something?
69.
Yeah.
69. 69. That's where he started. Yep. Dinner for two. And now it's dinner for three. And we'll start off where we finish. We'll finish where we started. Our leg up for a legend's going to be later on this year. So if you know someone that deserves a weekend away on us, we want to hear about it.
Definitely.
Okay. Doesn't matter what the case may be, just somebody in your life that is deserved of a FNQ weekend fishing, exploring the North Queensland rainforest, all that sort of thing. Hit us up. Send us an email. We want to know about it. Don't tell the individual. Let's try and keep it a secret. We've got a heap of local businesses jumping on board and sponsoring. We're also open to sponsors. So if anyone wants to jump on board with it as well, hit us up in the socials or at thepubammo@gmail.com. Look at that. Got it right.
And also our mate Benny is behind us here.
Yep.
He's looking over us right now.
He'll be tagging along. He'll be tagging along.
He'll be with us.
That's
We're going to
exactly
call it
right.
the Ben Millett Leg Up for a Legend from here on out.
That's the one.
So,
I like it. I like that. Yeah. When did you come up with that?
Just then.
Nice.
And I didn't even run it by you.
No, you didn't. but
we roll.
But we never do. All right, beautiful people. We're going to get out of here. I got to go to work. I don't want to, but I'm going to.
I got to go and twerk. Probably walk outside now and be dark because what's it, 6:20?
6:20. Yeah, it'll be dark by now. Dark. And probably raining some more. Sweet. All right, done deal. Thanks for tuning in, beautiful people.
We'll cunt of the week. The weather. Oh. The weather.
Yeah, the weather. No, I've got one. And I don't normally have one. Fucking roadside cameras I got done 3 times in a fortnight.
3 times?
3 times in a fortnight. And you know what's even more of a piss off?
Your missus was driving.
No, I was. I can't even lie. It was me. It was 100% me. And I was 58 in what I thought was a 60 zone. It was a 50 zone. Even when you think you're doing the right thing. And the others were like 64 in a 60 zone and 65 in a 60 zone.
Does it flash?
Like,
at
come
No, it
night
doesn't
time?
flash anymore, I don't think.
Does it flash?
I don't
It
think
doesn't.
flashes
Because I was
anymore.
doing 65 the other night past one. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's across the road from my farm, and I've seen it there all day. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
wonder how people get done by this shit.
Well, I'm actually. I was going to say to you, I might just stop coming up here because I've been done 3 of those in the last 6 months. Have all been at the bottom of your goddamn hill where I know they sit all the time, and I keep getting done there. I'm like, God damn it! And I dead set thought I
And
had
there's a
it
sign above it telling you you'll
Literally.
see it anyway.
Yeah, beeps at your frowny face.
literally, and I don't know where I'm going wrong because I haven't seen that sign.
Make it happy.
I haven't seen that sign say anything more than about 78 in the last fucking.
I'm like,
Three
oh,
digits the
trying to
other
be
day.
shallow. I was like,
Oh,
200?
man.
That's all this car does.
Man. Anyway, that's my cunt of the week.
All right.
We're going to finish on that note. Talk soon.
Turu.
Out of here.